Pietraia is my family house, so it's the place where I grew up. It's pretty a countryside place, so it's contextualized in a very wild region. I think what makes it very special for me is that nothing really ever changed since when I was a kid. So I think it became more important when I first moved out of it. So when I realized it was kind of a special environment. I came back basically after more than 15 years with the intention somehow for the first time to work here in a more stable way. And I guess I kind of brought back all my experience, all the distance, which has been creating a new view on it. The strongest impact was the agricultural environment, especially the way it appears so violent somehow compared to the ideals which I had in mind before. All of a sudden, I started to see how like the human presence was much stronger than the natural background where this is evolving. So I guess I started to rethink the way also my work has to deal with it. For instance, I've learned to introduce even more elements inside my work. So certain works became more narrative, and that was extremely important to create a link between me and this place. I started to respect much more the original source, which is going to build up the work. And the fact that the objects that I'm selecting are so common to everyone, so known for everyone, somehow is also a way to connect more to people. The animals appeared already when I was in Amsterdam. Basically, they are coming from wild figures. They're never really like a domesticated animals. They're always related to the wild side of our closest animals. So if they look like dogs, they're actually wolves. If they look like cats, they're actually lynx, and so on. The figures for me are kind of a little bit symbolic. They can habit the entire installation, but they are also fragmented part of the environment. So I don't like to distinguish too much the architectural objects or the mechanical objects and the parts which are more figurative. Every time I think about an installation is also a way of thinking a new habitat where even the viewer is going to be contaminated by what is organizing its own movements. So I try even to place the elements in a way that the viewer can become like a strictly connected element to my own sculpture and to my own habitat. Territory means many things, like it's something which defines like quite a precise border. It's a very political definition. In a wildlife, territory is something quite important. Even a simple cat has its own territory. When I think about territory, I try to give to myself and to the viewer the idea of a defined space. I'm trying to build up everything inside these few borders, like obstacles which are going to organize your movement. But at the end is everything so virtual and so impossible to respect. Freedom really needs an exercise, I guess. The studio that I'm using, so the actual place that I define it as a studio, I never entered it before. I have this memory of this place existing. I remember pretty well. It was the place where pigs would be killed, or animal in general will hang somewhere. And now it became a place where things are created. So it's also so joyful. as this year. I was never so free. Like, I never worked so well to just like build up something which was really out of my force, out of my ability. I just started to do things I would never believe I would be able to make. The feeling of inside your own studio where you're alone while no one is watching you, like, it's an exercise for me for freedom. You really must have to exercise this. And there is no other place as the studio to do it.